Welcome to the Take It Home podcast so bad we really should just take it home. I am one of your hosts, Doc Simmons. You can find me on all social media at Doc Simmons 17. I'm joined by the crew today, and I'll give the hot tag to my partner. Why don't you introduce yourself, brother?
Yes, sir. The Outlaw Zach Hendricks. Find me at all social media at Z Hendricks Brand or Country Air. You can find it at Country Air Official for Facebook and Instagram, or Country Air Brand on the Twitter. And I'll pass it along to the senior official.
What's up, guys? You can find me at Perch XLV, # for the ref brand. Waffles, Take It Home podcast.
Yes, sir. Waffles. How were the breakfast escapades this weekend, Perch?
You know, it was rather nice. I was dog sitting for my family friend in Chicago, and he was nice enough to give me a stack of flapjacks in the morning, and it was wonderful. I had a nice countertop and a nice Keurig coffee maker, making some good Dunkin' Donuts something blend to it, the K-Cup. So a nice, very accommodating, much better than a hotel lobby coffee. And the disappointment of not seeing pancakes or waffle makers being there. So
Yeah,
we really enjoyed it.
good.
Cakes.
Monster, are you ready? Riot Squad?
Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
Recording?
Yeah, we're recording. You want to introduce yourself?
Oh, hello, beautiful people. I am Gunner Wicks. You can find me on all social medias at Gunner Wicks.
Yes. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to this podcast and all those social medias. We'll go ahead and start off how we always start off the week. Perch, why don't you give them that banger?
Oh, banger of the week this week. It's an oldie and a goodie. This one was played on a cassette tape growing up in the car from my dad, and just banger of a tune. It's a couple tracks long too, I think too, but it would always get me in a good mood to get ready for sports. Listen to it this weekend to get ready for wrestling, and it's "Temples of Syrinx" by Rush.
Oh, okay. Definitely not a big Rush guy, but I will probably give it a listen to after this podcast, because the Take It Home podcast playlist is probably going to be done by the time this goes up.
Oh, cool. Well, let it be graced with a banger like Temples of Syrinx. Yeah, some people are big, Rush mega fans, I hear.
Mhm.
It's just kind of a thing. I'm certainly not, but a good band. They've got some good tunes. But this one in particular is really the one standout. And
Yeah,
and
I
the
do
one
know that there are a lot of very passionate Rush fans out there. I do know. I
It's
don't
like
think I can't think of a song I've heard from them, but I know I've seen like concerts of them and just their fans going crazy and being obsessed with Rush. So I'm sure it's good. I'll listen to it after this.
Yeah, this one definitely good. It's like an overture. It may be, a couple tracks long, but a long tune. But put the headphones on if you can, and just zone out. Listen to every sound in that song. It's great.
Awesome. All right. So yes, be sure to check out the Take It Home podcast playlist. I'll probably put the link in the description. Go give it a listen. You'll find all the bangers of the week on there, provided by our awesome ref Perch. But let's go ahead and talk some film room stuff. What have we been watching this week? Why don't we start with Zach?
Yes, sir. Kind of like I'm stealing what Doc stole, because we on the road this week and watched a lot. I know Doc watched a lot of the G1. I listened to it. I'm not gonna say I watched it, because we take shifts on sleeping and driving, and I was on the sleeping shift. We watched AEW Dynamite last week's episode with the main event, Bryan Danielson versus Bobby Fish. It was a great match. Super technical. It's it's crazy to think like because Bobby Fish in NXT was great, but he was kind of like the back guy, and like you didn't see him as much due to injuries that were out of his control. So like that kind of sucked. But yeah, super good match. Watched AEW the week before. Oh, Dante Martin versus Malachi Black, the opener. Phenomenal. Great storytelling. Dante really selling that knee. I just thought it was great, even with the one-legged springboard, just amazing. We watched a lot of Paradigm, Cole Radrick versus Davey Richard, uh, Akira versus Tommy Vendetta. A lot of great matches there. I'm trying to think of anything else. Uh, Nothing really else I could think of. Just a lot of good wrestling in the car.
Nice. Yep. Gunner, what have you been watching, brother?
Pass. Yeah, haven't watched anything. So yeah, work life's been pretty busy, and then between like that training and stuff, free time is slim to none
Yeah.
lately. So yep, haven't watched a lot of wrestling.
Oh, yeah, I feel you. All right, let's talk to the senior official then. What have you been watching, brother?
And this weekend was packed with lots of live wrestling and lots of TV wrestling. What a backloaded week having
Yeah.
AEW on Saturday. Yeah, when I was able to catch up and watch, really enjoyed, especially that Dante match you're saying before. But coming out of it as well, a little bit of a story. Love any thread of a story being told, that to be continued, and especially with like Leo Rush saying, from this day forward, your new partner is me. Like, I really enjoyed that. Solely just thinking that one day Airwolf will be back.
Yep.
And he will whoop some ass if something is brewing. So whether a story is there or not, that's the way I take it. That's the intrigue I have. Is Leo Rush is kind of making his way in, and will Airwolf be on his way back down the road? And
I feel like
how will
he
he
is.
take?
They've been mentioning him, I feel, more and more on commentary.
Yeah, I'm excited. Very excited to see really anything progress in that story. And what a war that was too. Just a great match. I really enjoyed. But good storytelling, even greater than really good matches can be. It's a good trade off in pro wrestling. You gotta love them both. And the other was seeing the Inner Circle come in that Miami crowd, and they were just going nuts. But when you have something that's that good, when you meet it with something just as great and just as much fire on the back end, being a guy like Dan Lambert coming out and garnering as much heat as he's had over the past months building up. Each moment leads to the next, and I mean, that crowd was so loud on TV right when he started talking. It was one of the most entertaining segments I've seen. Just a great feud back and forth. And Jericho at the helm, reminiscent of back in the day with Jericho going at it with Stephanie McMahon. And The Rock. I know we talked about it because that's some of my favorite promos of all time. So yeah, it brought me back to that era. So AEW's really got that ability to be nostalgic, whether you like old school wrestling, and Arn Anderson in there with those promos too. That was pretty cool seeing the training school. Or even if you like 2000s wrestling, Jericho cutting promos and ripping down a whole crew. Or modern day, a guy like Malachi Black against Dante Martin. Really enjoyed it. Very fun. Wrestling as a whole, modern day wrestling is good. G Unit, if you don't watch it weekly, at least try and DVR. It's worth catching at least a match.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great idea. I don't use DVR for some reason. What I do though is watch clips on YouTube usually. So I do see some stuff, but yeah, not usually like a full show.
All right, yeah. There's only so many hours in the week, and
Mm-hmm.
work is a freaking blower.
Yeah,
You're
true
telling
that.
me, man.
True that.
So for me, I will bring up a match that Zach forgot. We did watch a bunch of Paradigm. They had 2 shows over the weekend, and we got to see the homie Conley versus Davey Richards in a UWFI rules match, and see him knock out Davey Richards with a knee to the face.
I didn't forget about it. I just forgot Conley's name was Conley and didn't want to bring it up and sound stupid. It was a
I
great
got your
knockout.
back, brother.
Thank you. I also forgot
but-
to mention the AAA tag match, if you will. I just want to bring up on the AAA tag match. I enjoy CM Punk kind of calling out. He's like, that's FTR. Like the more I thought about it, I'm like, all right, this is kind of entertaining. Like, because most people fall for it when you shouldn't. And he was just like, you guys really can't tell that's FTR.
Yeah.
So that was entertaining.
Yeah, it was kind of the opposite. It was just kind of weird, but yeah, you get it. I enjoyed their entrance a lot, the little leapfrog to chest bump.
The only I didn't know in AAA if like you remove some luchador's mask, that's a grounds for disqualification. So that was cool to hear those rules.
Yeah, they have a lot of different rules in lucha. Like if your partner goes to the outside, you can step in without a tag and things like that. So different rules, different styles. I'd love to learn one day.
Lucha.
Yep. We'll have to make it over to Galley one of these Sundays. And I know they do like some training on Thursdays, I think Chuko was saying. But enough wrestling business, more of the wrestling watching that I saw. So yeah, lots of Paradigm over the weekend. Shug D versus Myron Reed was awesome as well. Yeah, Cole Radrick versus Davey Richards was a goodie. Oh, of course, we got to talk about Bryan Danielson versus the homie Minoru Suzuki. What a friggin' match. That's my drug right there. Inject that into my veins. Just hard hitting, friggin' knockout shots left and right. So good. And you're watching it on the buy-in and they got that timer up on purpose to let you know, oh, this is going. Like, 28 minutes to Dynamite. No, we're really just letting you know this match is gonna go plus 20. And it was awesome. The crowd was into it. I know they really wanted to go with the yes chants, and Brian was not going on rhythm for that because it was just not that type of match, but whatever. The crowd still loved it. It was awesome. Been watching some championship wrestling from Atlanta. Saw the homie Juicy on there and Darian Bingston on there doing their thing, killing it, looking good. So shout out to them. Like Perch said, there's just so much wrestling out there. It's been really good. Watch something, everybody. Support something, like keep this wrestling thing going.
Oh, I did watch that GCW pay-per-view as well.
Oh yeah. Zach did watch that and was telling me about it.
The opening match was super good.
Do you want to talk about that opening match?
The opening match was Ninja Mac versus what's his name? Alex Zane, and then the surprise entrance of Leo Rush. So it turned into a triple threat, and just timing on everything was really good. Ninja Mac had this beautiful like senton flipped out senton over Alexander and power bombed him onto Leo Rush. Very fun to watch. Also, like Shane Mercer just having his way of yo-yo.
Yeah. Him and like I'm pretty sure they've wrestled a couple times. But yeah, that flipping tombstone was insane.
Oh yeah. I thought it was the same like when he picked military Preston and threw him out of the ring. That was awesome.
Yeah, to the crowd.
Yeah, it was he flew too. So
Yeah.
yeah,
They have
GCW.
very good chemistry.
I also enjoyed seeing the Briscoes come out. That was awesome. Them versus up front, Matt Swerve, Matthew Justice face was very entertaining.
Yeah. We'll see what's going on with that. Should be good. Yeah, GCW heating up, trying to establish themselves as probably more than just an indie promotion.
I believe it.
Seems very interesting. Nope. Rising tide raises all ships, so not upset about that at all. All right. Let's get into talking about this weekend. We were everywhere, it feels like. Gunner, since you had a pass on the last section, why don't you start off and tell us how your weekend went?
Well, let's see. Friday, I wrestled for Fourth Wall Wrestling against Chucky Bates. I've faced him like 100 times now. It's fun to beat him up. But this time, he attacked me. Well, for one, he had a manager with him, but let's talk about his manager. Not a fan. Not a fan at all. Dude is freaking weird. Attacked me with the cane before the match started. Obviously didn't faze me because he's a small old man. I'm a large young man monster. But yeah, attacked me before the match. Chucky got the jump on me. Then I got the upper hand, beat him up some. And in the end, I was going for the spear and he hit me with this very heavy, I don't even know what it was, some kind of cane with like skulls on it. Got a big old bruise on my leg. Not cool. So I'm sure me and him will settle that difference at a later time and date for Fourth Wall. And then Saturday, wrestled at Body Slams and Burritos 2 for BCW at the Wrestling Taco. I went against JP in the main event. And as per usual, that match also ended in a cluster truck and started a battle royal from the heels, all bad guys coming out, being jealous of Gunner, trying to steal my shine, steal my spot. And yeah, didn't win or lose that one, but I sure lost the royal because like 5 people threw me out, which wasn't cool. But I'll get those people back at a later time, so not too worried about it. But that's my weekend.
Awesome. Perch. Tell us about your weekend, brother.
This was a fun one. We kicked things off Saturday with Warrior Wrestling at Marion Catholic High School. It was inside the gym. Last time we were inside the gym as well. However, we were planned on being outside. So this time around, it was planned to be inside. So they had much more lighting set up and a very cool indoor feel to it inside the gym. Bret Hart was there, so I got to see him from a distance, which is pretty cool. And you know, it brought in an awesome atmosphere, a very nostalgic crowd, and people there were really excited. Had 4 matches throughout the night. It was really fun. Once the main card started, I was able to do an ROH Women's World title match with Roxy defending her title against Laney Luck. Awesome match. It was thrilling to have the opportunity to hold that title and to officiate a match of that caliber. Made sure to get the code of honor in there, and that was very nostalgic. Very cool moment. Really enjoyed it, and continues to inspire to want to do more with a company like Ring of Honor. It's a big part of why I got into the business for companies like Ring of Honor. I love them. So that was a very, very fun match. And then had a cool matchup of Joshua Alexander against Kelvin Tankman. Alexander has been on a different level for the better part of this year. He's got a big matchup coming against Christian Cage this weekend, and he's still putting out just banger matches on the independents. And I think he was able to select his opponent to some extent, and he picked Kelvin Tankman. I've definitely talked about him on the pod here before, and what a monster. Those two are just big pro wrestlers, and they went at it. Alexander ended up getting the better of Tankman and breaking down his leg for the ankle lock. But I'd like to see where that match went if they had a little more, more free reign, more time. It was wonderful. Another reason why I got into pro wrestling, for dudes like that, putting on a banger match. And then the main event of the evening was the Lucha Championship match with Aramis, Ray Horace, and Gringo Loco. Ray Horace is someone who was able to work with at MLW that time around, so it harkened back to good times and memories. Having worked with him once before, and just a awesome guy. We had met him before at Galley, and just super nice, introducing himself to everybody. Aramis is unreal inside the ring, and showing why he is the champion. And Gringo Loco that night, oh my goodness, everybody thought that he was the champ. They thought for sure that Gringo was going to win that match. The Chicago crowd was certainly behind him. And wild finish. Absolutely wild finish to that one. You think it's going one way and it goes the other, and then there's a whole nother minute. It was cool. Great matchups at Warrior Wrestling. Plenty of pictures out there and on Fight TV for a replay for anyone. And then the next day was Galley Lucha back at Villa Park, and ended up having a couple of matches. Another one was the girls' match with Sky and Roxy were in it. Leslie and Ellie, a new girl that I had met. Good four-way match. Roxy ended up picking up the win. And then I had the Luchador main event, which was a trios tag match. Got to be in there with Sam Adonis as he was healing it up with Golden Dragon and Gringo. Some absolute heels, some rudos. They know how to rile up the crowd against Ray Horace and Artemis, and then their other partner. I forgot the luchador name, but I've been in there a couple times with him, and just great. Good fire. good baby face. It's just a fun match all around. Wild stuff in that one. Wrestling with unicorns where they're all weekend long. So if you want to see some clips, I'm amazed by just some of the stuff that they do. Luchadors in particular, it's blows my mind every time. There's something every match that I've never seen before, nor could comprehend, could take place inside a ring or
They
outside a
definitely
ring.
see the ring and spots and positioning very different than we do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's think outside the box. They certainly do, and it's very emotion driven too. You need that heart to do the stuff that they do. Otherwise, you'd think twice. But yeah, just a great match. Great matches all around. Will All Day was on the Warrior Wrestling that Saturday. Was in the main event of the pre-show, the other match that I had against Mark Wheeler. And Mark Wheeler was someone who I'd worked with maybe last year. But I think being from Canada, he wasn't able to get back into the States until this weekend. So I had a real cool match and a good heel, just a good Bond villain-esque character. Really enjoyed it. And Will All Day, good fire. So very fun weekend. Very fun.
Sounds like it. Awesome stuff. Yeah. The Golden Gun, Mark Wheeler, so appropriate for Bond villain. And yeah, Will All Day's been making some buzz lately, so good to see him making his way up here. Zach, you want to talk about our weekend first, or should I?
We got either or, don't matter.
Man, I'll talk about Friday.
All right.
Friday, we were at Fourth Wall Wrestling in a 6-man tag. It was a team of Country Air and Mel versus Dysfunction, Rough Crossing, and Val Malone. With the stipulation that if we lost, we would never challenge for the Golden Jackets while Rough was champion. But if we won, we would get a shot, and Mel would get a one-on-one with Val Malone. How'd you feel things went?
Well, let's just say next month we got our shot at the Golden Jackets, so went pretty damn well. Minus, even though we won and we earned our right for these Golden Jackets, you had Dysfunction doing what Dysfunction does best. That's kind of whining, crying a little bit when he's not a good guy. Not what he does best, actually, but I'm gonna say like that's more of a Rough thing. My bad. Anyway, Dysfunction out of character, what he doesn't do best, telling us that we didn't deserve a shot when we clearly won, and the only way we get our shot is if we put our tag on the line.
Yes.
Next month, Fourth Wall Wrestling, Rough Dis, whatever they want to call themselves, versus your mama's favorites for the Golden Jackets. And if we lose, I guess we're no longer allowed to tag anymore. So we can't lose because we have a lot of bookings and
Yeah.
not really trying to cancel those.
Yeah. That'd be bad business on our part. So the pressure is on. We either walk out as champions or we don't walk out together. It was a very good match. Like you said, we came up with the win. Dysfunction, Rough, trying for their dirty tactics. Val sticking her nose where it doesn't belong, jumping on you. But it's real fun. Always good to team with Mel. She's great. And then, what's up?
I said, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Then we made the trip. That 9-hour drive down to Nashville Saturday. Why don't you tell them what we did Saturday, Zach?
Saturday, we got to take on 2 of the factory students, TSF. They're just phenomenal tag team. Is it Rosario?
Yep, Rosario Grillo.
Rosario Guerrero and Hunter Knott. First time ever. I thought the match went really well. Had a good reception from the crowd. Everyone seemed to be happy. A lot of positive feedback. Uh, I was pumped about this match. This is one I think Doc and I were both pretty excited about when we saw the match graphic. I was excited. I expected TSF to be as good as they are they've done like 4 dark matches on AEW, and trust me, they'll tell you about it. They had no problem reminding CCW where they were. The only thing I thought was kind of pathetic on TSF Sparks, the class act they did at the end, or the lack of class, I should say, when they could have tried to beat your mama's favorites in a regular match and instead had to go to dirty tactics.
Yep. Handful of tights, does the trick occasionally.
It's all right because we got a rematch set for November 20th. It will be TSF, tiny small fellas, whatever you want to call them. I like two stupid, the rest, versus your mama's favorite, some out of town shooters, Country Air, and we're actually wrestling them in a good old country road street fight.
This podcast is rated R, so we can't say 2 stupid fucks. But those two stupid fucks would take them on again next month. Country Road Street Fight. Like Zach said, the match was great. This is awesome chance going until they went and grabbed the tights and ruined everything. We will have our revenge next month. You can bet on that.
Yes, sir. And then after that, just some nice driving in the car all day Sunday to get home and sit on the couch.
Yep. Rest up those bodies. We got another full weekend this week that we'll get into later.
Non-wrestling related Sunday. Got to watch the new Halloween Kills movie.
Oh, how was that?
Oh, bro, if you've seen all the other Halloween movies, if anyone's a Halloween fan and you've seen like all the other Halloween movies, including the other remakes, then you will enjoy this movie because they tie all the storylines together.
I have not seen like all the remakes. I'll have to get on those then.
Yeah, I would definitely suggest watching at least the final remake before this one, for this one to make sense. You will be lost if you don't.
That's fine. I like Halloween.
Oh yeah, phenomenal. And if you have Peacock, it's free.
Awesome. Okay. Well, that's perfect because that leads into today's group discussion. We haven't really done anything Halloweeny, and it tis the season. I thought since WWE has made it canon over the last year that zombies and ghosts exist within their universe, what other horror monsters would you like to see in the WWE? We've seen a couple monsters over the years, such as the Yeti in good old WCW days. I can go first. My pick would be werewolves. Love werewolves. Big fan of Underworld. Love their design in there. Big fan of American Werewolf in Paris. It would be awesome if if it was an outdoor show and they could have him wrestling, and then as the day changes, he hides under the ring and can come out in his werewolf attire. That's just the type of fun things I like. But yeah, I would say werewolves for me. Perch. I might just go down the line.
Man, I'm a big fan of anything to do with some good old witch doctors. Anything you can voodoo doll related. But I like that.
Hey, Papa Shango, loved him.
Papa Shango, it's the commitment and the believability can make anyone, buy it because you say it and you believe it, and the conviction, you're not going to think otherwise. if it were someone, is selling you a bill of fake goods or used goods, you wouldn't take it, the full commitment to a witch doctor, or like a voodoo style. It gets me every time. I think it works. Even Bray Wyatt had a bit to an extent for a while, just to if this guy was in a cabin somewhere, I wouldn't doubt there's some dolls in there, and he's changing the world by affecting some evil spirits, and yeah, Papa Shango too. I mean, you can affect your opponent supernaturally. Freaks me out, and I completely buy into it in pro wrestling.
No, yeah, there's definitely some fun to be had there. Zach, what do you got, brother?
Well, I had werewolves as well. But
Awesome. There's a reason we're tag partners.
yeah, like I'm a huge fan of werewolves. Love the Wolfman, love anything werewolves. So like, yeah, I'm not gonna switch it. I'm still sticking with werewolves.
That's fine. Gunner, if you're there.
What's up? Gunner's here. Did anyone say goblins?
No, nobody said goblins.
We're going with goblins because I cannot think of another like Halloween type monster that wrestling has not had yet. Like we've had mummies, vampires, your guys' answers. We had devils of sorts or demons of sorts. But I don't think we've had any goblins ever. So just like a full on like luchador style goblin would be sweet.
Hell yeah. Someone like Mr. Iguana is probably like the prototype for that.
I have no idea who that is, but I hope he's not a goblin.
No, he's a iguana.
Oh yeah,
close.
All right. Nearing down, winding down. Why don't we talk about what we got coming up this weekend? We can start with your mama's favorite tag team. Friday, keeping that Halloween theme going, we will be at Brew City for a Nightmare on Springdale. You know that costume battle royal will be happening, and your mama's favorite tag team will be in action. You ready for this one, Zach?
Yes, sir. Saturday, we are making our way down to the Burgers Osborne Auditorium out in Mattoon.
Mattoon.
Mattoon. There we go. Mattoon, Illinois, for live pro wrestling in 01 USA. Got actually the confirmation today.
Yep.
So super pumped to go to 01 USA. We've actually tangled with their tag champs before. The premiere, didn't go the way we wanted to, but we know what they're capable of. And I don't know who we're wrestling, but we are 2022 is going to be the year of country air collecting hardware, trying to get that gold. Gunnar Wicks has surpassed us on that beautiful gold making. We're trying to stack up and show everyone what country is about. And if we have to get that gold on us to get the eyes on us, we will.
Be like Gunner.
Yeah. Always be like Gunner.
I'm kidding. Don't be like me. It's horrible being me.
WWGD.
My New Year's resolution is to be more like Gunnar Wicks. I'm actually dressing up as him as the Royal. I think I might go as German Gunner. Who knows?
I am flattered. I hope Doc follows suit. I hope there can be a Gunner and Gunner Mini.
That's not a bad idea.
Well, just let it sit in the thinking tank and just sit there and see what happens.
Let it marinate for a minute.
Yes.
Sir. Nothing Sunday, right?
Yeah, nothing Sunday. Gunner, what do you got coming up this weekend?
Let's see. Friday, BCW. Me and Mav Boone in a lumberjack match. Plan on not just any lumberjack match, by the way. I almost forgot this. A costume lumberjack match. So there's going to be that costume battle royal, and on top of that, the lumberjacks for our match will be in costume, or at least they better be, or I'll be very disappointed. But
hold on. Doesn't Baxter have to be in a certain outfit?
Yes, Baxter, as per Frankie DeFalco, has to be in a dress or a tutu or something of that sort. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's going to be hilarious.
I believe it's just a dress.
Just a dress. I hope it's just the dress. Nothing else. Just the dress.
Just the dress.
Would make my day. Hopefully I can slap him up some while I'm slapping up Matt Boone. And Friday, once I kick his ass, I'm going to go one-on-one with Simon Says at ICW. And Gunner Says I'm going to kick his ass too. So that'll be my weekend.
Yeah, sure. I'm not saying Stone Cold said so, but Gunnar Wick says so.
That will be on my pro wrestling tee shop in the next 24 hours. Thank you.
Making money.
Yep. ProWrestlingTees.com/Gutterwicks.
Get your shirts hot off the presses.
Actually, go to all of our Pro Wrestling Tees websites because I'm pretty sure there's a sale going on right now. So pick up all the tees from your favorite wrestlers. And we'll go ahead and talk to our favorite ref. What do you got coming up this weekend, Perch?
And speaking of t-shirts, shout out to anyone who did pick up a Perch shirt. It was a random thing that got created, and when we hit our goal, I think 50 was the mark, and we hit 50. So certainly a shout out to everybody who picked one up, like a Post Malone. Post Malone's not listening to Post Malone songs. You may not see Perch wearing a Perch shirt, but a shout out to everybody who did pick one up.
Doc Simmons will be wearing his Perch shirt. Don't worry.
I got one as well. I'm super pumped.
Yep.
Bangers only.
When I saw Kanye West wearing it, I knew I had to get one.
No, but able to make donations to the MAC fund, which will be an awesome thing. So once that gets situated, we'll let you guys know. But upcoming this weekend is Freelance Wrestling returning to Logan Square Auditorium this Friday night. Should be a great show, great matchups. Going to back when we were helping set up and tear down for companies like Freelance at Logan Square. This venue has a lot of good energy to it, and I really enjoy it every time I'm there, and especially for a Freelance Friday. Should be a really good time. I'm not sure if it's going to be live on IWTV or if they'll be streaming it to follow, but stay tuned. And then Saturday, Freelance Underground, the final phase. Pat Monix against Kylie Ray. Going back to when we were setting up at Logan Square Auditorium, here were some people who were tearing down the house, just great on top of the card. People who we were able to learn under, whether it was reffing their matches or speaking to guys like Pat or Kylie in the back and picking their brains. This is going to be an awesome matchup. It's going to be Pat's last match. And Kylie Ray, you never know, with two great pro wrestlers like that, how much lightning in a bottle we're going to have that night. You never know if you'll be able to capture it again. So really looking forward to that matchup and that entire night and the entire weekend. The Freelance Friday and a Freelance Underground Saturday. And I think we're going to enjoy the Packer game some way or another on Sunday.
I probably won't be enjoying my Giants as they just aren't very good.
Zach, you're a Bears fan, right?
Yeah, I got.
How did you feel about Aaron Rodgers' promo after that rushing touchdown?
It's crazy, you guys, how quick you guys accept Aaron Rodgers back. Packer fans, you guys all flakes. We hate Rodgers. He wants to leave. Oh, I love him because he said I own the Bears. Get out of here.
I've always loved him.
Yeah, sure. That's all of them said.
Strong feelings.
Maybe next year the Bears will win. Fields looks pretty decent. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, there's something there. See if it manifests into anything. Time will tell. But
Jordan Love's probably better. Anyways, moving on.
yeah. So Gunnar, this is your part. Do you have something you'd like to ask the group? Any thoughts?
Sure. I don't know if this question will apply to everybody, but the pandemic isn't really over per se, but things are a little bit more open now than they used to be. But during the pandemic, when it was just like a full-fledged everything lockdown, I had some goals for myself coming out of the pandemic, and wrestling was more prevalent again, or at least like the local indie scene was going on a little more. So did you guys have any of those goals? Like, just say this last summer, did you have any goals, and did you accomplish them? And if you did not have goals, or I don't know, I guess did not accomplish them, do you have goals for next year?
Yes, I did have goals. I guess they were more just 2021 goals. There is still time, so there's still time to complete them. I wanted 9 new states. I think I'm up to 4 or 5. So there's still time.
I believe in you.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
Mine's about the same with states, like wanting new states and slowly but surely chipping them away. Not gonna lie, I don't remember how many states I wanted to debut in, but I know there was there's certain promotions I wanted to work for, that like just watching their content, like I wanted to work for, and like I've been able to acquire some of those bookings, and it seems like we're getting the repeat bookings, which is very nice to be like, oh, I want to get on their show, and now like they're coming up to us and having ideas with us is very, very satisfying.
Very nice, very nice. Perch.
Awesome question, Gunnar. Short-term, medium-term, long-term goals are something that stay on the front of my mind, and certainly inside notebooks too. And one of them that was pretty cool, that got accomplished coming out of the pandemic, was having the opportunity to referee a match for the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. It was something that was put into the universe a long time ago, and required work every single step of the way to be in a position and to keep with it. As you know, there's peaks and valleys in the business, as we all know, peaks and valleys. And we have to keep ourselves up during those valleys because we're gonna ride some peaks again. And the pandemic was certainly a valley that we all had to struggle through together, or survive together. Not necessarily we all struggle, but we all survived together. And coming out of it, it's pretty cool to say that we were able to pick right back up on some of the goals that we're after and still after. So yeah, that was one of them. And there's plenty more, in the future, but no, that was a cool one. Really enjoyed.
Hell yeah. Very nice.
And your goals, good sir?
Well, funny you should ask, Doc. Funny you should ask. So this kind of question came into my mind after the end of the last BCW show. So it was the last show that was on like the Summer Sizzler BCW tour. And sorry, I'm a little out of breath. I'm on the treadmill, but I'll stop now. So this came to my mind at the end of the type show. So it's the last show of the summer. And I remember last year during the pandemic, not having the opportunity to like participate in the full BCW Summer Sizzler tour, which made me very disappointed. But this year, like that was like one of my main goals, is to hit like all those shows, just because I knew the level of experience, or the amount of experience through all those shows is like a pretty decent amount, or at least compared to what I was used to a year prior. so yeah, that was kind of my main goal, is to go to all the ECW summer shows, and we did that, and now we're on the other side. So yeah, it's everything I thought it would be and more.
Awesome. Yeah, no, like the summer tour, the importance can't be overstated. You get so much experience in that time. You get to really explore yourself. So yeah, great time, great goal to have.
Yep. I was pretty pissed off, not gonna lie, when the whole pandemic thing happened, all those shows got canceled, just because I knew that if I took advantage of like all that experience, how much better I'd be at the end of the summer than the beginning.
Yeah.
So at the end of this summer, I kind of looked back to how much better am I now than it was at the beginning of the summer. And the answer is one that I will keep with me as a personal answer, not share for the rest. But I'm proud of myself.
Good, as you should be there. Perch, any final thoughts?
Keep on watching wrestling, baby. Lots of it. Trey said it before. The rising tide floats all ships, and wrestling as a whole right now is very reminiscent of growing up. Maybe it's just because we're experiencing it from a whole new level and a resurgence, or maybe because the business as a whole is big. We've got people talking, outside of wrestling, like, hey, hear about AEW, or hey, I heard so and so about GCW. Like, dude, really? People are like talking outside of wrestling circles a little bit about pro wrestling. It's awesome. It's so cool to be a part of it. So keep watching, keep up to date. The independent wrestling world is thriving. The mega wrestling world is thriving. All continents. It's rolling. It's very fun. Celebrate pro wrestling.
Yes, sir. Zach, any final thoughts? All right.
I got a question next week.
Amen.
Man of very few words. All right, we'll check in next week. On that note, I think we'll just go ahead and take it home. This has been the Take It Home podcast. Y'all be easy. One.
Yeah.